I'd pay $20 to follow you, Joe.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That costs more than that, homie.
Damn, you got the expensive
Yeah.
members only, huh?
Exactly. You guys
Is
good?
it? Yay!
We're sharing Jeffy.
We're sharing Jeffy. Jeff Papa.
So, Geoff, I like the theme this week.
What?
Clutches and Tigers, half off.
Clutches and Tigers, half off.
Nothing's
No, but really,
changed.
the clutches aren't half off, only Tigers.
So he's the clutch king.
He's the clutch
Now,
king.
now we're talking.
Yeah, he is the clutch king. I like it.
Just hanging out with some tigers, building some clutches.
So, listen, if you're the clutch king, does that make like McLeod or Spec Clutch Carol Baskin?
Oh,
No, man.
we're diving into the Carol file early. Wasn't ready. Wasn't ready.
Oh, bother.
Where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
He's right there.
What a nice set of tigers you have there, Jeff.
Well, and I will tell you guys, these tigers are on loan to me from my daughters. And if anything happens to these tigers during this podcast, you will straight up see a homicide on your hands unfolding in front of you. So we'll be real careful with the kitties.
So buy your clutches now.
Yeah, get them while they're hot. I was going to say, we're going to actually ship a tiger cub with every single clutch kit sold here this week, but that has its legal complications I was nowhere near prepared to deal with. So these tigers during this podcast.
Well played.
I like it. What's new in the clutch pipeline over there? What you got anything cool you're working on?
Well, we got a couple cool things to show here. Give me a second. I need to untiger myself just a little. This tiger stash is it's making it difficult. But yeah, I got a couple things I'd like to show you guys if we can. And with your permission, I'm going to try to unboa myself here. That was an added touch. I was prepared for.
I'm going to try to free up some.
Joe's trying to free up some horsepower on his laptop.
I know, right? I got
there we go.
He just turned the AC off. Now he's getting ready to.
Exactly.
So he's turning on the cooler pump.
Is that AC delete laptop you got there?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Is it
Not
lagging?
like the other one.
Well, it's output out there. I appreciate everybody kind of sticking with us here. We did figure this out, but being the first podcast done remotely will be rather entertaining. But entertainment's what we're all about, right?
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you're the most entertaining person we know.
Let's look at you with your tigers.
I'll take that for all it's worth,
You were
right
HP.
there.
That's a memory hungry little thing there.
Yeah.
What's that, man?
Okay, I got it.
It's that matrix code on your background there. That's
I know, right? It's being a disk space hog. The dock is what's taking forever to load.
We're getting there.
That's all right. That's all right. Well, then I'll grab. I got a couple things we can show our cool cats and kitties. I think I can say that. Ramifications.
Wow, Joe, that's a lot of green.
Yeah, isn't
What's that?
Oh, he's got HP Tuners open with a compare file, and every single thing on the entire page is green.
it? Exactly.
All of it. I'm like, wow, Joe, which means there's a difference.
Yeah.
So, I was like, Jesus, Joe.
This is very different from
This
stock.
is very different.
We may have found something, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
All right, now what?
Now what?
I think I'm trying to do too many things at once. I'm freaking it out. All right, there. It was trying to do that.
That's not good.
It's okay. So I tuned all weekend. What'd you do this weekend, Matt?
I tuned all day Saturday.
What do you mean, tuners tune?
Yeah. And then Sunday, I put up the pool in the backyard. And so the kids' summer is officially starting. And then it was 50 degrees today.
Naturally.
So, yeah, we got the pool up in the backyard. And so we're good there. And that was about it. That was my weekend. Tuning in pools.
I'm down with it.
What the Tiger King do?
What'd the Tiger King do?
I imagine that he just sat there with piles of clutches and just...
Well, I did finish my throne O clutches, as any Tiger King should have. We'll unveil that in another video. No, similarly, Matt, I did a little work on my swimming pool to, watch the water hover at like 60 degrees, so nobody's jumping in that anytime soon.
Exactly.
We had I've been wrapped up in a shed moving project at the homestead.
Ooh.
Took a little more time than I wanted, but
I understand.
I've swore off home projects for a solid week. I got some stuff to do in the garage. I got a Ducati that needs timing belts. I know this is going to hurt your ears, but bear with me. I got a carburetor that needs rebuilt on the old Plymouth. I need to get to that. So, trying to pay
them dang old carburetors.
Right.
Who, what, where?
I said them dang old carburetors. He's got to be changing the meter and rods and the jets and the accelerator pump, the squirters. And
See, I've actually gotten close to 18 years out of this one without touching it. So
okay, we'll let him slide.
That's a couple days.
Probably should.
So what's happened? So much fuel has actually passed through the jets that they've opened themselves. They've actually opened themselves up.
I can't dial it back anymore.
Oh wow! Are those all questions?
I think these are last week's.
Which one are you on?
We're on season 3, episode 14 on the docs.
16. This one.
Oh, I was like, wow.
Is it a separate doc?
Yeah, check
man,
I didn't know we were doing a new one.
We're trying to run a professional operation here.
I wouldn't go and say professional. Semi-professional. Right, Geoff?
How early did I have to get up to?
It's going to get louder because currently Mike is dynoing the loudest coyote in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So bear with us as there is occasional unrecognizable noise in the background. Does the thing have straight pipes?
I think it is.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So
I don't like straight pipe Mustangs, for those that are wondering.
Sounds like a tuba hooked to an air compressor.
Yeah, it's pretty loud. It has a slight dump truck sound to it.
I think Geoff, can you hear it?
Oh God, yeah. Oh God, yeah. When I stepped back from the laptop, I thought it was coming through to get me.
Like the Tigers.
Like the Tigers. I see what you did there. Oh, here it comes again. Oh,
The voice of Carol Bassett.
No, Carol.
It sounds like it's coming from like right
We
there.
get a good candidate for GT500 mufflers out there.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So there's that. Are we still trying to get this document open?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got logged back in because I logged out of my Google account to open the sheet so I could reserve disk space, but now I got logged back in.
Technology, I tell you.
Going to the new invite.
The new and improved.
Struggle.
Is he doing? He's doing like quarter-mile pulls.
He's not even WOD. He's doing drivability stuff.
Anyway. So that's about it. That's all we really did. You tuned the whole weekend here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
And
Sunday morning I mowed my lawn, and then I was on the computer, and then I came here and got the car, and then I went back home. Data logging.
Saturday
and all that
I
stuff.
headed. Saturday wasn't too bad. I had to go down on Gearhead. Wrapped up some loose ends down there.
Hell yeah.
And a Whipple Demon and a Kenny Bell Hellcat. And with the highest intake air temps I've ever seen in my life.
I know that doesn't exist.
Anyway.
It's not real.
Like the kind of intake air temps that you go, oh God!
Lift.
Oh God! So there was that. And then he had some friends come by and they were cooking out. They do like they grill at the shop. He fires with the propane grill. His friends and his from another country. I can't remember. Trinidad. He's got friends from Trinidad. They started cooking all this craziness right in the middle of the shop.
Mm-hmm.
And he made some chicken that was the best chicken I've ever put in my face. And then he had these mangoes, and he's like, "Hey, you like mango?" And I was like, "Yeah, I love mango." So I dino pulls. Anyway, I was like, "Oh, I love mango." So I took a big old slice of this mango, and it turns out that it's cooked with like cilantro, salt, and Scotch bonnet peppers, and it was the hottest thing on the planet. I was running around like, I need water. And they're laughing at me because I was like, how did you manage to make a mango spicy? I don't even know this is a thing. But that was, yes, I was running around saying I need milk. So that was about it.
We do have visitors. I see them. We have
cut
Ford.
Tiger milk. Just saying.
Yes.
Ooh.
Tiger milk.
Ooh.
God, that would be expensive.
Ooh, not about that life.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be dangerous to get.
It would be dangerous to get. And then to get it, you would be just milking a cat. It'd be like, was it Meet the Fockers where he's...
Here, I'll pause sync so we don't get any notifications while we're streaming.
All right, so we do have... All right, now we're finally into the questions.
So we have Ford Moore. A, Travis Shaw.
Hey!
There we go. Audio is back. Awesome.
Yay!
Benjamin Ford. We got the Tiger King here.
Yes.
Damn right.
He's the clutch king.
That's for those that don't know, that's Geoff from Mantic. Just to rehash that.
Yes.
Have a Mantic banner there.
Yeah. There you go. Mantic USA. And then we've got Janssen 5.0 2020 GT putting a tune and slicks on it. What clutch should I put on?
How much horsepower? If he's doing just a tune and slick, so basically a mostly stock horsepower car, but he's using slicks.
So
what clutch?
Whenever you increase the drivetrain load, slicks on one end, more horsepower on the other, or both, it's safe to err on the side of having a little more clutch than what you need. So for us, our tried and true Cerametallic twin disc will get it done. It's going to drive nice. You have plenty of clutch capacity, no matter how sticky the tires get. So, yep.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
I like it. So the king has spoken.
Then we have Will Geoff. Negative knock is good. Positive knock is bad.
Yes.
Getting -4 to -7 while doing a pull. If you're logging an SCT and you're logging knock retard, negative knock retard is actually knock advance. Positive knock retard is knock retard. So it's adding timing. So you're good.
Yes. 4 to 7 is quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
You're on really good fuel.
Sounds like it's a naturally aspirated car. And we have Keon Cohen, twin turbo 2019 5.0, 792 horsepower. Is there any clutch options you'd recommend?
So again, another 18 and up Mustang, but this time 792 because it's all the twin Turbskis, the twin Choo Choo boys.
Mm-hmm.
What clutch?
That's actually a great question to segue into one of our new products or newer products. So I'll answer his clutch question first, and then I'll actually show off the 18 to 20 flywheel I have in my Tiger Paws right now. Similar deal. The Cerametallic twin will get that done. I would caution the transmission is probably only going to tolerate about 650, 700-ish foot-pounds, and then we start seeing issues with that latest iteration of the MT82. So enjoy it. Use it quasi-wisely and carefully if you can. But the nice thing, too, is, hey, down the line, if we have to go to a Magnum T56, we can make that happen for you, too. So not a problem.
Because at that point, you're just changing some discs, right?
Changing some discs. We have to probably change the flywheel on that as well, just because the 18 switched to the dual mass flywheel, which is a lot taller, and you actually can see that our replacement flywheel that we offer. And then the transmission pilots in the flywheel, not in the back of the crank. So when you switch to the T56, pilots in the crank, and we have to run a different flywheel to accommodate that. But what I usually do, I try to offer people a deal. If they need to do that, we can exchange your flywheel for the older GT500 flywheels we use. So more than willing to work with you there. You know, we are all about keeping people running our product and making it work for them. So on that note, I have made a slight improvement, at least I hope it is, to our 18 and 20 flywheels. You can see right here, see how this works. I'll bring this down a little bit. So we made a running change because we did about 30, 45 of these, and I had 4 cars that made a weird noise at idle. Couldn't figure out what it was. So I have deduced through the powers of Dagger that our original design of the solid bronze bushing just wasn't jiving with the new MT82. I think it was creating a bad harmonic and making a weird noise. So
basically like the input shaft was making noise?
Yeah, honestly, I think we hit the dumb luck factor of this bushing on the input shaft made just the right harmonic that the trans didn't like it, and it then resonated through the flywheel and the just
makes sense.
So what we've done, if you guys can see here, and this will be awesome when I drop this flywheel on my laptop and cancel everything, but we're now retrofitting the old ones with a new roller bearing, sealed roller bearing, and all the new ones also have come with that same bearing as well. So, and we've also added, I don't know if you guys can see right here, we've got a little flathead, and that's for the lift springs on the intermediate plate to ride on, so it doesn't dig into the aluminum flywheel. And I'm doing this across the board on all my flywheels. Just that first run of these, kind of got into production quick, and that's the way that goes. So yeah, that's kind of my first new and improved. I know you guys have sold a couple of the 18 kits already, but hopefully this will take it and make it better.
I like it. It's almost like, Joe, it's crazy. It's like this guy knows what he's talking about.
Right? I mean, look at that. It looks like a spaceship. Is it a tiger spaceship? Exactly.
It's almost like he knows a lot about clutches.
Almost.
You know, at this point in the game, God, I'd hope so. If not, we're going to have to do a hard reset, and it ain't going to be pretty.
I understand.
We've got Joseph Orozco. Any way to squeeze out 40 more horsepower on a 2008 Shelby GT500 right now, running the stock supercharger with a JLT 123mm cold air intake, a VMP 68mm throttle body, with the high flow elbow 2.5 pulley, new plugs, Cook's long tube headers, H-pipe, and the Corsa Extremes with a VMP tune, looking to get at least 700 to the crank.
And he's about there. I don't think he's got a whole hell of a lot left other than maybe porting it. So
if you're looking to get 700 to the crank, you should be fairly close to that already.
Oh, I didn't see the crank. I'm sorry. I thought he was trying to get 700 tire. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, 700 crank, you're actually probably
about 600 tire.
About No, not on a setup like that. He's probably closer to 550 wheel.
No, I'm saying he's looking for about 600
Yeah,
tire.
he's looking about 600 tire. So
and yeah, that one's about 550. So the only thing he can really do is maybe port the blower.
Yeah, port the blower.
But by the time you do that, you can just get a Gen 3 R, just saying.
Yeah. Port the blower, do Torco. Jordan Weir has a whole bunch of Gen 3 blowers.
That's right. Weir Racing has some Gen 3, some of the Gen 3s, and that will get you where you need to be.
Yeah, that'll safely get you wherever you want to go with a set of injectors and possibly a booster, depending on which pulley you go with. But yeah, I'd hit up either us or Weir. We can get you squared away with whatever you need. And then got Andre Juno. The Velvet Hammer always delivers.
That's right, baby. Thank you, Andre.
I don't get it either. I think it's a Tiger King reference.
Okay.
Is it a Tiger King reference?
Of course it is.
Well, so the Velvet Hammer has a multitude of meanings. Probably the most appropriate and least incriminating one, but may not be opposed to.
That's a dangerous proposition.
Then we have Billy.
I just killed Geoff.
Geoff is dead.
Anyway.
Also my tiger glasses.
You look remarkably like him. It's kind of scary.
I know. So, all right. So this idea hit me, like middle of the day yesterday, and I got back. I said to my wife, I'm like, hey, do you think it'd be funny if I somehow did up like the Tiger King and borrowed a couple of the girls' tigers? And she just looks at me, like she usually does, like there's a lot wrong with me. And
with disappointment in her eyes.
Yeah, yes, exactly. I thought I'd set the bar pretty low, but no, we sunk. I'm like, you know what? Why the hell not?
Solid.
Send it to me.
We just Urban Dictionary what the Velvet Hammer was, and it's not.
You can't say it on
appropriate,
stream.
but
Okay, do I need to retract my request?
You might.
Fuck. We have Billy Brantley says, what converter should I run for Mantic? I hear all the kids have converters, or all the fast kids have converters. Not entirely true.
He's got a Sarah metallic converter that works really well.
Really great.
Yeah. And I'll sell you a Velver hammer to install it. But anyway.
We got Jake Contois for a GT350 that is boosted. What is the best clutch?
GT350. So that's a different trans
I think
altogether.
it's TR3160 or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a very similar looking clutch setup as the 18 and 20 that I showed you. There's a little bit of a stack height difference. We do have twins and triples for those. However, the trans in those is really only good for about 600, 650. They kind of give up the ghost. So I
So
don't
pretty much
sell a lot of
stock.
triples for them just because they tend to start twisting up on themselves. But I've had
That
a
was
couple
made
triples.
for a lightweight. I mean, it was high RPM, naturally aspirated, road course, low parasitic drag. The internals are probably thinner and lighter, I would guess.
So
Yeah.
TKO 600 or TR6060?
Boy, don't
Yeah,
be talking about no TKO.
Oh,
A
man.
properly built TKO 500 or 600 is an interesting shifting transmission.
It is.
It is just
Can concur.
Yeah.
just
Just money.
especially get one that's face plated. Ooh,
Faceplate, yeah. If you're going to I say if you're going to screw around with the TKO and you're really pushing it, yeah, you faceplate it. It's pretty impressive.
then you can pull second in the air.
Oh,
Like-
it's just silly.
Yeah, like all the Coyote Stock guys and Ultra Street and all those guys. Grabbing second, bam.
But yeah, I mean, if he's going to keep the factory trans in the 350, I'd say probably rock out the twin for a little bit, and if you really start pushing it, you're probably gonna have to do the transmission. At which point, get us the clutch back. We can rebuild it, upgrade it to a triple with the right flywheel to use with the T56 Magnum. That's what I would recommend. But hey, however you want to do it, man.
So basically, no one would ever need a triple with a stock trans, basically.
I've got probably 5 or 6 running around out there that have lived somehow, but I've also had 4 or 5 come back. Hey, I'm going T56 Magnum. What can we do with this? Yeah, we'll just swap the flywheel. We'll dust off your blocks for you. You'll be good to go.
Well, and as you know, the manual transmission, a lot of it is driver skill / how they treat it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Ooh.
if you're attempting to rip the shifter off of the floor every time you shift it versus actually taking your time and doing a proper shift and clutch engagement goes a long way.
It does hail.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I helped.
What's that, man?
I was going to say, speaking of Mantic clutch videos, do you want us to show that video?
Yeah, absolutely. We did a little promo video. It's been, unlike you guys have probably experienced, it's been a strange couple months. We've stayed extremely busy, despite all the virus and Tiger going around.
We
But,
say this is pretty much the same. We chalked it up to everyone is at home and bored, so they're just spending money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everyone's building. Everyone has time to build their cars now.
Yep.
This is like the first time I can remember in 15 years where the aftermarket has not suffered due to an economic downturn. So
Yeah, it has been very strange. If anything, it's picked up. It has been weird, and we're grateful. It's just we weren't expecting it. It was at first we were like, oh God, this is the end, because the aftermarket it falls into the hobbies category, and the first thing that goes when people don't have money is the hobbies. So the boating, the any outside hobbies, racing, anything that is extra money goes first, and that doesn't seem to be the case.
No, we've been good so far.
So
and I'll put it out there, we've got a pretty significant backlog right now, and I just want to thank our customers for kind of hanging on. We had stocked up for busy season, but then our last 2 shipments got stuck in Australia because there are no planes to get it here. And we're humping. I got 4 pallets of stuff coming in probably on Thursday, and as soon as we get it, we're gonna get everybody taken care of. But yeah, we ran as hard as we could for as long as we could, and thanks to everybody's support, we ran out of stuff, but we're humping as best we can to get it taken care of. So
should have said something. We could have got old Matt Coates, bring him over on an airplane.
nice. Yeah, shoot, I wasn't even thinking.
There is no limit to what Matt Coates will bring on an airplane with him.
Everything.
He'll bring an engine block on a plane if you let him.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah,
He's awesome.
He brings some craziness. Trust me.
we had done a promo video. It's kind of what we were going to use to kind of kick off our spring marketing. And yeah, we got it loaded up and it's ready to roll.
Okay, perfect.
You guys are
And we're back.
Yay!
And let's wait for all the angry comments to come in about the. So we're
not hearing it.
The plan is, that was Mantic mission number 1, and we're hoping if people like this, we're going to kind of try to build upon that and kind of do some more creative stuff with that. It was fun to do, but what's that, Matt?
I said I like it.
There you go. I tried to send it to you guys early this morning for a preview so you could, velvet hammer on me about it throughout this podcast. But, we'll see how that goes.
And we got Janssen50. What should I log and how do I read if the fuel pump is at 100% duty cycle as far as the numbers I should see when data logging on SCT device 2014 Mustang? If it's not a GT500, it doesn't matter because it's low and high speed. There's no...
Yeah.
The pump isn't modulated to achieve a target pressure. It's either on high speed or low speed. The GT500s and the 10 and down GTs and V6s are the only things that actually modulate fuel pump duty cycle or voltage to achieve a target pressure. So if you're worried that you're running out of fuel, the only way to directly measure that is by adding a fuel pressure gauge. You can infer that you're running out of fuel based on what short terms and measured AFR are doing at watt, but you cannot make a 100% I'm running out of fuel until you measure pressure.
Facts.
Yeah. Why legal racing? Saw the Instagram post on Mantic's Instagram, Mantic for the win.
Yep.
People see you. People see you, Geoff.
We love the Joffrey.
They see you.
Thank you much. I'll take it.
And we got Jason Rofer. Aren't the 18-up 10-speed cars supposed to be fast? I gapped one easily with my all-stock Gen 1 MT82 swap 66 Mustang. Your car is significantly lighter than an 18-up 10-speed 18 car.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have, if you want a weight comparison, I have a 65 fastback. So the fastback's a little bit heavier because it has that giant back glass.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, this is back when it ran.
Mm-hmm.
So this is in high school. And with a cast iron 289 and a 4-speed top loader,
Mm-hmm.
it weighed 3,000 pounds with me in it. So
I'd say there's a decent weight difference there.
And that was like a almost entirely original car. So you figure he pulled the cast iron 289 out, he put a Coyote in it.
Probably a wash weight-wise.
Probably a wash weight-wise.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, plus some extra retrofitting. And with the car is still...
It's a minimum 400 wheel horsepower car.
Right.
That weighs 3,000 pounds.
Yeah, at most. Depending on how big of a guy he is, he's 3,100, 3,200 pounds with 400.
So he's got
tire.
$1,000 on an 18 Mustang.
Yeah. So homie's in here talking about, I thought these things were fast.
So hold on, let me see. Can we equate that into tigers somehow?
Ooh,
He's like
tiger powered.
How many
tiger
tigers
powers
weigh?
is that?
400 pounds apiece?
400 pounds a piece on average.
Okay, so 2.5 tigers.
How did you know that so
those are some
fast?
big tigers. I got some 1,000-pound tigers. Oh, I've said too much. Anyway.
Oh, Geoff. And we've got...
So he has one tiger power.
I
Tiger.
thought it was 2.5 Tiger power.
Well, he said 400.
He's 1.5 Tiger.
Oh, we were talking about horsepower. I thought we were talking about weight for a second. My
Well,
bad.
we are talking about weight. I don't know how many horsepower Tiger has.
How many horsepower? I bet if you Googled how many horsepower does a Tiger have, something will come
I
out.
will Google that.
Actually, it'll probably show up the MG Tiger, or the Triumph or whatever the hell.
While
the
you
thing is.
find that, I'll do Janssen 5-0's question. Is an upper control arm and mount have any benefit on a car like Chucky stock springs? At this point,
Hands up with a Panzer wagon.
See,
Tank.
the upper, I'd much rather you go with a set of lowers.
Mhm.
The problem with the uppers is they tend to introduce NVH noise.
not
into
only
the
is
back
it
of the
shaped
car.
like a tuning fork, it can act like a tuning
It
fork.
acts like a tuning fork. And even if you get the big giant bushing, it still transfers some noise.
Mhm.
And I just don't think it's really needed on a lower horsepower car.
What should we call the cutoff? Like 700 wheel, 800
Chucky's
wheel?
probably pushing it because it's a nitrous car launching.
Mhm.
So it's a 6 or 80 launching off a trans brake. So I'm sure there's
With
a
a
lot
converter?
with a converter. So I'm sure there's a lot of deflection in that upper mount.
Mhm.
If you daily drive the car, I wouldn't do it.
Mhm.
Uh,
If it's a track car.
If it's a track car, I probably would. Or if you're really starting to launch the car, you're trying to go, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, 60 foots.
Mhm.
You probably want an upper. I'd much rather you do the lowers first because those move a lot more than anything else.
Okay. Fair enough.
So
We
I
have.
don't have a horsepower rating on Tigers.
Oh
it's
man.
really sad.
They bite with 1,000 inch-pounds.
Ooh, inch
Ooh.
pounds.
The PSI.
We're getting somewhere.
Oh, PSI.
Pounds square inch.
Is that at the molars or at the canines?
Yeah.
So instead of saying I have 20 pounds of boost, you could say I have
1,000 pounds.
like 1/20th of a tiger bite.
Oh, now we're talking. Now we're talking.
See, yeah,
Or
Jeff's with it.
50.
Tiger legs. Tiger legs.
I'm down with it. We have Hamlet. Walsh. Should I put my Gen 3
Should I port my Gen 3?
port my Whipple Gen 3
No.
2.9?
Sell it and buy one of ours.
Yeah, depends
said
on what
it.
you're doing with it.
I said it. What?
It. Ryan McDonald, thoughts on tuning a GT350? Cons. I think if you're going to put good fuel in it, there's no reason not to tune a GT350.
Yeah, it's a 12-to-1 motor that's already there's not a whole lot
If
left.
you're gonna run around a 91, just leave it on the stock tune.
Yeah.
If you want to run around on 93 or some boosting or E85 obviously you need a tune. Yeah, I'd say it's worth it. And then you got this one.
Pat Tyner, do you have a lower intake manifold for a 5.4 dual overhead cam with aviator heads? No.
We don't, but Matt Coates does.
Matt Coates does.
Yeah, because that's C-Head 5.4. That's every Australian
Yep,
engine
Aussie.
with C-Heads 5.4.
Yep. So hit up MFP Australia and
Mantic Australia, or
And
Mantic
Mantic-
USA to get with Mantic Australia.
so listen,
to
when
get your
you,
Australian
when
parts.
you
We
get
can
your
organize
MFP
that.
intake, have them bring Geoff some clutches.
Yep.
And
We
from
just need a
Australia-
plane, people. We just need a plane.
Yeah.
we could charter something up.
Let's do it.
I bet Geoff on a charter would be hilarious.
Only gets better with altitude.
Right.
The hammer.
Anyway.
We've got Mantic Walsh, Mantic for the win. Great promo vid, great quality, awesome.
I like it. What do we got? M-A-H.
Emma,
Emma.
355 or 331 gears for manual supercharged Gen 1 Coyotes.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you're, we'll call it 650 wheel and down, 355s should be fine. If you're, we'll call it 650 wheel or higher, probably want a 331 in it if you're running the MT82.
That being said, if you have one or the other, don't spend the money changing it. Just leave it alone.
Yeah,
It's not really unless you're on the limiter right before the finish line.
don't worry about
Don't
it.
worry about it.
And even then, you can still change tire diameter to help.
Yeah.
Go to a 30.
Gone. I mean, we used to use. I mean, way back in the day, we used to use axle ratio to control starting line ratios, and that's just not a thing anymore. Tire
Yeah, when you
technology and suspension technology has come so far that.
And when you have a 417 to 1 first gear,
Yeah,
or
exactly.
at least with 6R80.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it. Just do it.
We got any more questions there, B-Rye?
That's all I had.
That's all we got.
Why?
Is there anything else you want to chit chat about?
Brian needs to think of this question for Geoff.
I got 2 more new products to throw at your asses.
Fire. We'll do one now, and then we'll do Brian's question, then we'll do the one after that.
All right, so this is by far the high dollar item. You guys will probably like this. You're familiar with the Mantic drive blocks?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The heavy chunk of steel that hangs on the outside part of the clutch.
Tell me he's going to come at me with some titanium. Do it.
Oh, I'm going to drop some titanium on your ass.
Yes.
Ooh, there you go.
My man.
What do you think of that?
Look
I
at
like
that.
We did an aluminum block,
Mhm.
and we've got titanium inserts in it.
Ooh.
Takes the weight down by a third. So the
Okay.
steel block is like 4 and something ounces, and this is like down in the ones. So, and the nice thing is it's taking weight away far
Is that
out.
like 5-6 inches from center?
A little more than 9. I'm sorry, 3.5, 3.5, 4 something. I have to look and see, but yeah,
Nice.
we
That's
are
a lot.
literally, we were machining these this morning, and we've got 2 customers that are going to try them out. We're going to let you guys know how it goes. We're going to offer this as an upgrade to the twins and eventually the triples.
Ooh, all the weight out.
Yeah, I'm really, and as we keep progressing, like I'm offering more aluminum flywheels now with different kits. Really trying to help out road race guys or even some drag cars that are struggling for traction. Save the weight down, down what you're moving. So yeah, this is by far the highest dollar item I got for you guys. And yes,
Nice.
Rightfully so. Got a little dovetail. Looks like a little dovetail cut piece of titanium there, and
actually,
oh no, it's not.
We actually looked at doing a dovetail, and it just kind of added machining cost on both the insert and the block itself.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of did a little press fit with this.
Yeah, and it gets smashed in between the two, so it's not like it's going to go anywhere.
It can't come out top and bottom, and it's not going to go anywhere, laterally this way either, because it's driving into the aluminum. So, and I don't care if you had 2,000 horsepower, you're not going to drive the titanium through the aluminum. You just
No.
maybe one of them on a really bad day, but not 8 of them. So
I like it.
So yeah. Listen, we're not sitting on our laurels. We're staying after it. So
I get it.
I like it. So if you have, is it like 6 or 8 drive blocks?
we got 8 drive blocks. So
Okay.
yeah, these are about a third of the weight of the steel ones.
So do you know what the total weight savings would be there?
I gotta look and see because I just weighed this one.
We
real
said
quick
he went from 3 ounces down to 2, so an average of 2 ounces per block. So 16 ounces took a pound out of the flywheel.
and it's a pound where it counts. Actually, a little more than that. I think it's a pound where it counts because it's way out from the center. So
That's a lot.
pretty
A
excited about
pound
that.
on a rotating mass on a flywheel is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's like equivalent to like 10, isn't it? Or something like that.
It depends on how far out it is too.
Yeah,
Like
distance from center.
the farther out from center it is, the more useful it is.
Mm-hmm.
So like taking a pound out of a flywheel would be kind of like taking 2 or 3 pounds out of a drive shaft because the drive shaft is closer to center versus out here.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
And it's similar.
roughly, of course.
The reason I'll recommend aluminum flywheels for the road course guys is because it's a less dense material on the whole composition. You've got less moment of inertia, less effort to spin that up and slow it down. So it lets you put more power to the ground, and it helps you shifting wise. And
So heel and toe driving is greatly increased because the responsiveness of the engine is increased, and they don't need that inertia. They just don't.
Mm-hmm.
right.
Like once they're moving,
They're 7,000 RPM the whole
all
time.
the time, and they're shifting. So to them, the faster the RPM can change, the faster the engine can change RPM,
Mhm.
the easier it is on everything. It's easier on the engine, it's easier on the transmission, synchronizers, everything. It's all easier. So
the only thing it's not easier on, no competition.
Oh,
No.
Just look there was a tiger here. Hold on. Anyway, so yeah, we will keep you guys posted on the aluminum and titanium blocks. Like I said, I'm gonna get some in on the road course here just about as soon as we can get out on the road course. So
I like it.
Hell yeah. Speaking
hit
of,
a
I
couple
gotta
questions.
get with you
What's that?
about a clutch for an Australian TR6060. on the back engine that uses a small block Ford bolt pattern.
Yeah, no problem. I've actually got
I get what it.
well, because I've started doing so. We've paired up the modern Mantic clutches with some of the older school flywheels. So I've got all the older Ford stuff, all the old Mopar stuff, because I'm a Mopar homo, and all the old Chevy stuff. So any of the TKO T56 swaps into the older cars, yeah, we got that covered now too.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
And both steel or aluminum, depending on what your, whatever your particular hammer likes. We got you.
Oh, my man. Speaking of which, the hammer. How's it going over here, Brian?
Oh boy.
That was such a good transition.
Oh my God, the transition there. I can almost hear Jesse laughing in the shop.
Yeah, for real. I can hear the echoes from in here.
Listen, last time I was on the show with you guys, we had a guy whose call sign was Dixie
Norman.
Yep.
Which I know.
I'm glad you remember.
I remember Dixie Norman.
That's a hard one to forget.
I read the name like 12 times.
What? Oh. What?
I was like, what? I don't understand why everyone's laughing. I'm just saying.
What? What's so funny?
Alright, so we're gonna give Geoff center stage here.
Jeff center stage.
We got your video.
Oh, now we're in the background.
Alright, so Geoff, because me and you shared a video experience, not like that, you weirdo.
Wow.
Alright, we
I didn't think we were talking about that.
we shot, if anybody's been to our YouTube page and seen the Mantic clutch install guide and stuff, that was me and Geoff that shot that video, right? And Geoff, this really isn't a question. I just remember how tough, just speaking as a non-car person myself, like, or getting into it, you know.
You're a work in progress.
Yeah, I'm not the Mona Lisa by any means, you know. So anyway, speaking as someone who like it was just thrown in my face, like not that you guys
the
did
hammer,
the hammer, exactly.
Did it hurt?
Yeah, always. No,
It's velvet.
So specifically the parts of the install where you have to do the measurements from the fingers and to check all the little minutia numbers, because like I have dyslexia and it just made me go crazy inside my head. So just like it's really not as hard as it looks looking in. It's just there's a lot of moving pieces. You just gotta kind of know where they're all going. So Geoff, I just wanted you to talk about that for a second and really just calm people's fears if they're going to install themselves, or better yet, just come to us and we'll install it for you.
There you go.
It's a clutch. Don't be afraid.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put on the web page, VMP has a wall of velvet hammers for all of your install needs.
Yes. I like it.
We actually try really hard to make it to where measuring that gap isn't quite so important. But like a lot of things in life, it's always best to take an extra 20 minutes and check it and be sure. Now, we've simplified the process to where we're only concerned with the compression on the bearing. Actually, bear with me 1 second. Let me grab a bearing since I'm out here in the shop anyway. So, you know, what we're concerned with is when everything goes together, and honestly, Brian, you guys did a really nice job shooting that video and making me look a lot smarter than I obviously am. Still, what we're concerned with, when you guys bolt the trans to the bell housing, or if it's a unibell and you're bolting everything up to the car, the hydraulic bearing is actually going to compress as it rides up against the fingers, okay? So whenever you're doing measurements for me, we're just concerned with how far we're compressing this bearing. And we know if we compress this bearing about a half an inch to 625, then it's going to be okay. We only need about 400 for the clutch to actually work. So if we go 625, we know we're safe. We're never going to push it off the end. We're never going to blow up the bearing. And we know we've got plenty of room for it to compress all the way. Because on average, all of these slaves have about an inch, maybe a little bit more of travel. So You put it at half an inch, you're in the middle of its range, it's going to be happy, you're going to be happy, and it's just an easier way to set it up.
Right.
You know, some of the triple disc applications, we have you double check it just because there's always some variances, and I'd rather check and be sure. And literally, it's an extra 20 minutes of your time, and it might save you 8 hours of tearing the car back apart because something dumb happened. You know, maybe I was drinking heavy again and put the wrong bearing in the kit. Maybe you had some weird transmission combination we didn't know about. It's always better to check.
Maybe Carol Baskin got in there and messed with the inventory.
Oh, it was Carol.
Yeah, and just to speak to like
God, we're gonna get sued. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, we are. So the extra 20 minutes to save you 8 hours or like another weekend of work or whatever. Like go if you do get all confused, like don't get frustrated, don't get angry, don't throw wrenches.
Don't get mad, get glad.
Exactly. Just jump on YouTube, go to our YouTube, just type in Mantic clutch. You'll see Geoff's shining mug there, and
without the stash, unfortunately.
Yeah, no stash, unfortunately. But there's like all kinds of animations explaining like how to measure, what to measure, where to measure. Geoff's like talking over the whole time, like walking you through it. Like,
nice.
It's really well done. Really, really well done.
I like it.
I like it.
And if you guys find yourself in need, I've got all kinds of spacers. You got something weird out there, we got a solution for you. Just hit us up, and we'll help you out however you need. But good point, Brian. Glad you brought that up.
Any more questions?
No, I think he's got one more thing to talk about. What you got to talk about, BB?
Oh yeah, you have more
Right.
products.
So I sent you guys another link because we're branching out even further into the Mustang market because they're kind of growing on me. I like to have an open mind.
Does it sit well on your mustache?
Listen.
Ooh.
Oh wait, that came out wrong.
Hey, listen. Is that a discount code for mustache rides? Is that what I say? No.
Discount code?
No. So we're actually going to offer. I know this is going to sound like sacrilege, but bear with me. These are crazy, troubling Tiger times. We're going to offer a single disc option for the 11 through 17 Mustangs, and it actually will utilize.
Look at that.
Some of our patented ER2 technology, in which we actually machine these fancy little grooves into the pressure plate. And I apologize, guys. This was a test mule, so it's got a little bit of dust on it. It's a little beaten, but you get the point. We have a nice shiny picture on the website you guys can check out.
I was going to say, I've got the website here.
What's that, Brian?
It's like a slotted rotor for your clutch.
Yeah. And it does a couple of things. So these grooves obviously help for cleaning and cooling, which is one of my favorite things to happen with your clutch. And it also reduces the surface area, or not so much surface area. It actually creates a little bit longer lever arm. So you get a little more torque capacity out of the clutch than you normally would, just simply based on the physics. So it's kind of an added little benefit there. But we've had these out for quite a while. We just haven't had them for the Mustangs yet. But seeing as how Mustangs are growing on me, I suppose we'll get it out there. And this is a really nice setup for, if you're sneaking up on the 550 range, that's a neat way to go. We offer these as a cerametallic and an organic, which I'm going to be honest with you, I don't love, but it does kind of get the job done. We also offer it as a cerametallic, which gets you just a little over 700 foot-pounds of capacity. So we got a little bit of an overlap. If you're on the fence about running one of the twins, you can run that cerametallic single, and it'll get it done for you for quite a long time. What's that?
And cheaper.
And a lot cheaper. Yes, sir. Now, you're not going to benefit as much from the weight savings. It is bigger and heavier. And as we had talked before about my sexy little block, that's kind of the enemy of moment of inertia. But it kind of gets it done. It's a little nicer casting than what's out there. It's actually, I say, a higher quality casting. So it's not going to blow apart on you. It is going to handle the heat a little better. And that's actually why we can machine it like we do. A normal gray iron or another type of casting will kind of powder apart if you try to machine it too much. But this stuff is really pretty stable. We've run this stuff in the GM world for quite a while, but I think the time has come to put this out there for the Mustang folks. I think it'd be a nice fit. And the 11 through 17
for the match aspirated bolt-on guys.
Yeah, and we're offering it as with an aluminum flywheel or a steel flywheel as well. So you can still get a little benefit from the reduced mass there as well.
This will work really good for the people, even the people that have smaller blowers that are making 5 or 550 to the tire, and their stock clutch is just worn out.
Or I was going to say, or like the GT350 guys, possibly.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're making it for those too, but
I gotta see if I can do a flywheel for the GT350 guys. That's kind of the niche there. But honestly, we've had such good luck with the Cerametallic twins in that market. I can't say that I'm jonesing to replace that. It's kind of it ain't broke. I don't know if I want to jump in and fix it per se. But
I feel it.
We're gonna look to do that same setup or similar setup for the Challengers as well. I got a lot of requests from 5.7 and 6.1 guys that want something better and actually cheaper than the factory twin disc setup. And that single will actually do a really nice job to it.
Nice.
Ford Moore wants to know how much for the twin Cerametallic kit with the new blocks. So he didn't say what car
I think he was Coyote.
16 GT.
16 GT. So 16 GT MT82 twin Cerametallic, but he wants the block upgrade. How much are we talking price wise there?
I think, and you're gonna have to forgive me because literally we are still making these things. Hold on. Run over to the milling machine. So we were able to make our one prototype. Oh, okay, cool. It's sexy. It should work. We're still hogging out the raw material to make the others. So,
So when they figure out how much time that equates
once you figure how much time it's going to take, then you can give them a price.
Yeah, and that's a thing too. Like, I'm going to do this first run of 16, here with the shop guys just to make them. Tell you what, drop me a line. Ridiculously good looking at manticclutchusa.com, also known as Geoff Gerko at manticclutch.com and manticclutchusa.com. And when we get a little further on with it, we'll get you a price and we'll get you running our stuff. I would say it's probably going to be another probably $350 to $450 upgrade. But I gotta kind of see. I gotta make some. We stumbled
reasonable because titanium isn't cheap, and it's not cheap to machine either.
It's not, but I found a really neat company called Racetech Titanium. They came into the booth at PRI this year. Really nice bunch of guys, and they actually have kind of perfected machining and making titanium stuff for the aftermarket.
Nice.
And, super nice guy named Geoff rolls in. We start to talk a little bit, and he had this little tackle box full of the coolest titanium shit you've ever seen. And I'm like, okay, we need to do this. Okay. And yeah, they were great to work with. And honestly, once we do this first prototypes here, we test them out, make sure that everything works kind of how we think. Probably gonna have those guys actually work with us and make some more, just because they're here in the USA. Great bunch of guys to work with. Can't say enough good things about them.
Do you know if they make any titanium tops?
Titanium tops, spinning tops, or tube tops?
I was thinking both, actually.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. Good.
I don't know what just happened.
Matt doesn't know what tops are.
You know what?
It's okay.
I'll ask and see. Oh, as a matter of fact, Joseph may have just texted me. Gerko, you rotten. No, that's not important. We'll get to that later.
So do we have any more questions coming across on the YouTube machine?
Just what's his name said Mopar. I didn't see his name. He said Mopar no car.
Hamlet Walsh.
Walsh. Mopar or no car. God, I'm so tired of hearing that.
Hamlet's got a pretty mean 392 car, for what I remember.
There's lots of questions, Joe, but they're not even Mantic related, and we're at almost an hour right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
We could probably just let's see what Geoff has coming down the pike,
Okay. Just kill it. You got anything else coming there, Failer?
And those 3 new ones have pretty much kept us entertained. I will tell you guys that we have our first Focus twin disc and single disc coming across.
Wait a minute. What generation?
What's that?
What generation?
What is the previous one that?
Like you're talking about the 2000 2004 SVT kind of situation?
Yeah, the latest one we got here. Mm-hmm.
Or the ST, the newer turbo one.
Actually, the ST, the ST and the Focus RS can actually use the same setup from what we found. So that's
no way.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of the ST guys are actually doing an RS as an upgrade, and I'm like, well, that's cool, but it's still a heavy OE dual mass flywheel. So
dude, we gotta get Michelle hooked up, dude.
I know, right?
What Michelle in there? She's got her little Focus ST and it needs a clutch.
Oh, she does. Oh, I didn't know. What?
So it sounds like we need to do an install video on her car or something.
Actually, that'd be really cool. Yeah, I've got one company has spoken for the first one that we did, so we're gonna let them. We'll give us about 2-3 weeks to kind of try that out to make sure it does what we want it to do. But yeah, we're pushing some of the EcoBoost Mustang. I've got an EcoBoost single, but it's actually a billet cover single, just like the twin, just with a single.
Check that last question for Geoff.
What's that?
Does the Focus kit that possibly works with the STs? Does that replace Does it work with the factory dual mass, or does it come with its own flywheel?
It comes with its own flywheel.
I figured, just checking.
Yeah, I mean, the issue with the dual mass flywheels is from a performance aspect, it's just not the way to do it.
No, I agree.
A lot of extra mass flinging around when you don't want it to. It's going the wrong direction when you want to accelerate, and it's going the wrong direction when you want to decelerate.
And you can't
everything quiet, and VH guys love them.
Or anything like that.
What's that?
So you can't surface it or machine it or anything like that either.
Not easily. It can be done, but it's not fun.
All right.
We got one last question. For drivability comparison, which would be best, Cerametallic single disc or twin disc?
Definitely the twin disc. The Cerametallic won't be bad, but we're getting into a slightly more aggressive friction material. So the chance of having a little more chatter and having a quicker engagement delta is going to be there. But the twins, if you've got twice the number of friction surfaces, remember, a one disc has 2, a twin disc has 4. It helps that drivability, helps it be smooth. So yeah, the Cerametallic twin is going to be a smoother operating beast.
Makes sense.
Sick.
I like it.
Well, I guess with that, we're going to sign off. You can stay on if you want. We'll give everyone a Skype ID.
Listen, the super glue on this stash is going to be good for about another half hour. I'm sweating through it, but no, it's fine. I can hang out if you guys want. If you guys are done, we will do this another time real soon.
This wasn't bad. I like it.
Yeah. I like the Skype. Keeps you from having to travel all the way down here.
Well, you know what? I love coming to visit you guys. We've always had a good experience. Well, I've had a good time. I don't know about you fellas.
I've had a good time.
Jesse has a good time, too.
Jeff is like one of my favorite people to visit.
Yeah,
So
Brian has a
says
good time, and Jesse has a good time, for sure.
You know what? Brian said that last week with the other clown you had on, so I don't know. Just kidding, bro. I love you, man. Thank you. But yeah, if you guys ever want me to chime in, even just for a couple minutes, feel free. You guys have some clutch questions, you can always hit me up on the fly too. Just let me know. Let me know that you can shoot me a text even during the podcast, and I get back to you.
Awesome.
I
appreciate you, sir.
Yeah, man. Thanks a ton for having me on, guys. Thanks a ton.
No problem.
No, I like it.
I guess with that, kids, we'll answer any questions you have that are not clutch related next week.
Yep.
Until then, stay safe out there. Try and have some fun and make the most of a shitty time we're all dealing with right now.
Yeah, nice.
Wash your hands, people.
Install your clutches.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, have a good day.
See you, buddy.